Brews and Banter.
Hey, Frank.
Hey, Roman, how are you?
I'm great. Happy to have you guys here. Please tell us your names, your company, what you guys do, and we'll go from there. And, of course, we're going to talk about beer.
And a lot of fuckery.
Yes.
I love it. My name's Chris Angello. A company that we're both from is Advanced Business Systems. I'm in sales over there, and I'll leave it at that for now. I can go deep, but we're going to go short here.
Oh, okay.
And I'm James Dufresne. I'm the solution specialist over at Advanced Business Systems, and looking forward to talking about beer with you guys.
Yeah.
You have solutions to the problems he creates.
Most of the time.
Chris said you're the beer aficionado, so.
I like beer.
Yeah.
I haven't dove into how to actually brew everything because I have a very addictive personality when it comes to that. And I'm going to do this at home every day now.
We don't either. We just drink.
Yes.
I did brew it at one point, but it's laborious. I mean, we made wine. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, there's a reason why you only did it once, because you fucked it up.
No. This is going to be a podcast of 3.
You know I love you. You guys brought these goodies for us, and thank you so much.
Yes, we got shirts.
These. How did you know my size?
He said that it was large from Baby Gap, so I got it special ordered in for you.
Hope it stretches. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being here. Tell us about the business.
Well, started in 1991, I think September of 1991. There were 2 founders, and one of them, Ned Jones, was one of them. And it started out with just selling copiers. Back then, they were analog machines.
Yeah.
And then moved forward about 2000. That's about the time I joined with them. Digital technology had come in, so they became adaptable to printing to them, scanning and things. That kind of springboarded us into network technologies. So we're now IT service company, full IT managed network services. And James does a lot of software engineering for some of the software packages that go on them. And we're also into phones. And our newest addition is water purification.
I saw that, yeah.
Which is like crazy because it has really nothing to do with technology as far as, zeros and ones and digital stuff. But the technology in the water is reverse osmosis, and it's getting a lot of attention. We're about a month deep into it, so it's really new to us.
Yeah, RO is pretty important to people. I mean, there's, these DI. I'm familiar with some of the stuff, but it's so what kind of application do you have for RO systems within businesses or residential, or how does this work?
Yeah, go ahead and take that, Jane.
Yeah, right now we're focusing strictly on businesses. Kind of matches with our timeline of services when we have to put the services on the machine. Last thing we want to do is show up at someone's house on a Monday at noon and they're at work and trying to take care of that. So right now, strictly business, but we're hoping as it grows, we might be able to move into the residential side.
Yeah. So it's So I we receive your summary you sent us. So I didn't realize until you sent that, these sort of different things you're into, but also printing. You were talking about business cards and things like that, and brochures, I suppose, right?
We sell the printers instead of the services that do the
I thought you mentioned you do that.
We do that as a courtesy for free for nonprofits.
Okay.
So a lot of nonprofits come to us and say, "Hey, can you donate?" Now,
I got it.
Keep in mind we're a local business. We were started with 3 people, and just to back up a little. Ned Jones, one of the founders, he handed the helm to his son, 10 years ago or so. Ryan's 40 years old, and he's the CEO of the company. It's nice to have a young guy at the helm. A lot of new ideas.
A lot of good ideas, yep.
Oh, yeah.
For
so
sure.
It's kind of stayed within a family. It has employees there. It's been there for 25, 30 years. There's a couple of them that have had that kind of tenure there. So, But I'm sorry, you asked me a question a second. Oh, printing, yeah.
Printing.
So one of the things.
See, this beer's good, isn't it?
Oh, it's 9.5%. What does that mean?
That's 9.5% of that can is alcohol.
Gotcha. All right, I'm done with it. Okay, so we do the nonprofit. We do a lot for nonprofits, local communities. We can't always give money. Everyone wants money, but we only have so much to go out. So one of the things that we do is we'll do various fundraiser fundraising printing for them. The big chill that was held here a couple weeks ago, we did all of the poker run cards.
Right.
We printed them, we cut them. We did it last year. We did it this year. It's a huge help. Of course, Matt Hunt,
Yep.
Yes.
Mary Ann Williams. Yeah,
Yep.
you've had them on here.
Yeah.
Great people.
Absolutely.
And we do this in every community that we're involved with. We're a member of every chamber in any region that we're part of. And we really advertise for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think you said there's 5. Are there's 5 regions, you guys, and you're a part of all the chambers and all of those, right?
Yep, in 5 counties.
That's
Yeah, 5 counties, right.
Sometimes 6 chambers in
Yeah.
each
Yeah.
county. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think
It's busy.
Yeah, and it's worked out well for because we're only part of this one, and we've only been since December or January, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then we've got people that get to come in and join us because they see the email or so from the chamber that says that we'd like to see guests.
There's
So
something about this town that I noticed when I first entered it, because I came back to this company a few years ago. I really didn't spend much time in here in my first stint. But there's something that's a draw here. It's like it's cozy.
yeah,
It's
very
far
homey,
removed,
right?
But it's only like a couple miles, and you've got all the retail places that you could ever,
Yeah.
shake a stick at and want.
right.
But there's something that's just inviting
Yep.
here. I mean, the chief of police goes to all the chamber events.
I see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy to see.
it's
that kind of
like a
involvement.
small town vibe.
Yes.
But you're not far from everything else.
But you're not too rural here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And I moved here from Boston, and I fell in love.
Boston.
So I love Boston, rich in history, and I used to work right next door to Paul Revere's house. But being here, it's just like I don't need to be around chaos. I can be in the small town, beautiful town. A lot of people know each other. Good community, right? We always say this word community, but
It's safe.
it's important. And what you said, we don't always have opportunity to give money to donate, but I feel like a service, it's actually better because you donate somebody money. They still need to take that money and find somebody to pay to do the service. So you're kind of eliminating those steps. You're like, look, instead of giving money, why don't we just provide you with the service you need?
Yep.
And it just cuts down the time, managing money. I feel like that's even better way to kind of give as opposed to money.
Name like the biggest fundraiser you can think of that's common to do for fundraiser. What is it? An activity that people do often.
Like
Usually
donate
summer.
gift baskets and shit like
In the
this, or
summertime.
gift cards.
Think green.
Oh, golf. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Golf. Who prints all those things on the greens that say who sponsors this green?
Right.
And who prints all the 11 by 17s that show that there is a tournament and the handouts and the brochures and what the prizes are and all that. That's us.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
And that is thousands of dollars if you went to a print shop and had that done. So if we did donate cash, maybe we could give a couple hundred here and
Right.
there.
Yeah. So your value is much higher in the
Absolutely.
service piece.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
And it's a value added donation
Yeah.
that really saves them that kind of money. So,
Sure.
And
Yeah.
then we put up baskets together all the time too. So you see some of the stuff that we would put in the basket.
Yes. Thank you for this stuff. And
What kind of printers you guys dealing with now?
Like looking at
these
them,
ones.
there you go.
Kyocera.
No, but I mean like the capabilities.
Oh, okay.
Like,
James, go ahead.
Tell us the technical, because I know these things went from just printing stuff. Now you can do a lot more.
Yes, we really do anything from your desktop printers. Most of them are going to be toner based. We do have some inkjet plotters for like your engineers that are doing large
Yeah.
drawings, but most of the time it's just melting plastic on paper, dots on paper with the toner, and Kyocera Brother. We can service a variety of like HP, your office lines that you get maybe from Staples. We have customers that will put them on a contract so they don't have to worry about ordering toner or getting parts and getting more life out of that machine. Because
Yeah.
normally people's like, oh, machine's acting up, chuck it, go buy another one for $200-$300. We'll help them get the life out of that and get the toner so they don't have to worry about that.
And those contracts are, color or not, page based, the quantity, and and then you can get that, like you say, you can get toners included,
Yep.
yeah,
There's
or
all
not,
our
and
contracts,
yep,
yep.
and then service, yeah,
Yep.
and I think everybody knows printers are not wholly reliable. I mean, not probably what you guys are selling. I'm talking about desktop.
Office space.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
That's one of the things I always say. I'm like, our service contract covers any, damages, any stuff that goes on with it, the only way it's not covered is if for some reason we look on the news and you guys are body slamming your copier in the parking lot.
Yeah.
That does not
pictures of
cover
your
it.
ass on
That's iffy.
pages. That's obviously we know what you're doing.
So you guys Zoom for Roman's pecker?
Magnification up to
A what?
400.
200%.
Oh yeah.
400 on some.
Oh,
of the doors.
200%. You'd be 3 inches then.
All you're gonna see is 1 pixel.
I'm gonna call it a service ticket. We have specs on her.
Why is it like Atari quality? But what sizes of God?
Yeah, speaking of size matters when it comes to printers, Roman.
I'm sure it
dug
does.
the hole.
What
We
comes
dug it.
what comes out of it?
Yeah.
But what sizes of printers do you guys like? Smallest to biggest? You said biggest, like blueprints, right?
Yeah,
Large
plotters,
machines.
that 48-inch documents comes off on a roll.
Yeah, yeah.
On there
Down
to
to
your
like
desktop,
what?
your
Oh,
letter.
desktop.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Architects will use something like that. They have a need for those kinds of things.
I worked for a printing company actually here locally, and we had a digital printer, and we printed stuff for like Wegmans. We had contract, and the printer was maybe longer than this table. I would
Image
say
press?
image press.
Yeah.
Well, before it was image press,
Okay.
it was called something else.
Okay.
But yeah, I worked there,
Nice.
We know
and they did.
And you notice he doesn't work there anymore.
Well, the company I worked for,
How many specs on the paper?
That's right, yeah.
Wegmans is like, what is that?
Full body.
the company I
got
worked
into some
for
3D drawing.
sold it to image press bottom. They closed this office, and then yeah, we had screen printing, we had die cuts, we had digital printing with the large printer. So you guys sell to that size,
Not to the size of like image press, where the huge.
like can print a
Digital
banner or
yeah. Our biggest one are like obviously like I said like the 40-inch, but it can roll out for as long as you want that. But most of the time it's the 48-inch, 36 by 48
So
inch.
like I go to FedEx, I'm in construction, I need to print blueprints.
Yep.
That's
Yeah, it's the market that we're going after certain markets.
Okay.
And Wegmans obviously is not a market for us.
Okay.
Architects are.
Okay.
Blueprints and things like that. Manufacturing. We have a lot of manufacturing companies that are doing everything from the big fat manuals on letter size or 11 by 17 folded in half for booklets for service manuals all the way up to the white format for specs and diagrams for the machines. Things like that. Fulton Thermal was a big company that uses that kind of technology. Yeah.
Chris, you can bring the mic up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Do whatever
that-
works for you.
That arm goes up and down too, so like get it close enough.
Gotcha.
Not in your face, but
Roman does this with it.
when I'm alone.
Sorry.
I'll keep quiet.
You notice how good he was at it.
Practice.
So,
But yeah, so you guys are diversifying, right? You guys are kind
I
of.
wanted to ask about the printers. I think HP makes it. Oh no, Epson makes this printers were refillable cartridges,
Yes.
where it's liquid.
Yes.
What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Consumer grade. It's not
Consumer.
something that can be repaired, but it's a
Right.
great technology. In short, HP has always had the market. Okay,
Right.
HP is the classic adage of we'll give you the handle, but we're gonna give you the razor. We're gonna sell you the blades. You may have gotten them in the mail. Nice handles, one blade. You like it, and all of a sudden you're buying it.
That's right.
That's the hook. HP has always made a real bulletproof type machine. And the reason why is as long as you keep it, you're buying their
That's
supply.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
They've even gotten to the point with inkjets now where they have chips in them where if you try to buy an off-market or
yeah.
an aftermarket one, it won't work.
Yeah. That
So-
helps with postage meters also.
But the
Oh,
liquid
that's even
refills,
worse.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
more proprietary.
the
Yeah.
liquid refills, I think is Epson,
Yes.
Yep.
right? Not HP. HP makes money on the cartridges.
Yep.
The supplies
Which are
and
like
refills.
ridiculous.
Zero on the equipment.
Ridiculous
right.
amount
Go
of
on to-
money.
Yeah, lost leader, right?
But yes, perfect word.
Yeah.
And they want them to last forever because the time you have to change them, that's when you may buy an Epson or may buy a Lexmark
Right.
or a Brother. So they want that thing to stay in there as long as
Let me tell you my experience with the HP cartridge, fuckers. I installed it.
It went pretty serious real quick there. So.
Well, let me tell
Dark,
you,
man. This-
because they're like $50, $60. I installed it, and it printed maybe 10 pages, and it was skipping. I'm like, what the fuck? I run my finger on it. It's dry.
Dry.
I opened the fucking thing. There's like no ink in there.
Because it sat on a shelf for a long time.
$60. $60 per.
Yep.
Color one's even more. And you get jack
the
shit.
color ones have 3 colors in it, like the Neapolitan ice cream kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you run out of blue, you have to replace the whole
Right.
shooting match, even though you're pink.
So I like
yellow.
the Ipsen approach with the liquid refillable. I mean, it's cheaper. There's no chip that can read it which ink you fucking pour in there, and it just lasts much longer.
This is the new segment of the show called "Which One Is the Jackass?"
No, he's right. He's right. They took a big. Now they're going to lose a lot of money on that technology because you're going to pay more for that equipment because they need to make money somewhere, and that's on the equipment. Because guess what?
They're making it on the ink.
Never change the ink.
Yeah.
You just pour liquid into it.
Yep.
Yeah. Until you do like one of those tests, like HP always has those tests where it's like, let's clean the printer head. And it runs off like 50 freaking pages, nothing but full coverage. And you're like, oh, it needs ink now. Yeah. They're geniuses.
Yeah, that's fucking smart, and people aren't.
Like, well, that's the problem. We haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah.
I like to pay a little more out. So if your printer is good, like I pay more out front and save myself with the headaches of the ink bullshit.
Well, with the ink too, they're looking. Those printers are set up for the person who's doing just the right amount of printing, where you don't put the ink in and it sits there, and then the ink dries up and then starts drying on the heads and everything in there over time. So if you don't use it enough, it's going to dry up. If you use it too much, you're constantly filling. So you're trying to find that balance. With most of the printers that we sell, it's toner based. It's really just melting ground up plastic to the paper.
I like
on the
toner.
image. So
I
you don't have to worry about it getting.
Do lasers use toner, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
So
leave them in your car at 100 degrees outside.
Yes.
They will melt inside of it.
So would you guys sell to non-businesses?
No, not really.
Well, I mean, I know the big ones people wouldn't want, but I'm saying like a desktop.
We sell desktops to a lot of businesses.
But I'm saying non-business, like me,
Residential.
yeah, because I need one.
We
by the
don't
way.
target that. Okay, we don't target that, but we'll definitely help anybody.
We got a little laser printer that doesn't fucking work, but these things you connect wirelessly, and then after a while you change your network and it doesn't connect, and I'm like, what the fuck is this thing?
It's a funny thing that you mentioned that, because ever since COVID, what I have found now, during COVID, I was a nurse. I wasn't with the company. I had been with them, and then I came back, and it was a complete. I mean, everything changed. But what I noticed was that a lot of people were working out of their homes now. A lot of attorneys didn't have to have an office. You know what I mean? So they had a lot of equipment in their homes because they were working that way. And during COVID, this company grew in the IT sector because all of our copier patrons and customers, guess what? They had to go home and work.
Right.
They had to have a VPN set up to do that. Who did they go to? They called a vendor they were used to and familiar with.
Yep.
And we are one of the only local businesses left.
Yeah.
I mean, we truly are. When you call our phone number on our,
That's right.
a human being answers.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
rare.
It's rare and it's appreciated, by
That's
the way.
funny.
It is. Because
That's funny.
And it's all coming back. Sorry, Roman. It's all coming back there. In the world, or at least in the U.S., people want to not talk to someone who sounds like they're from, Uzbekistan or where the fuck they're from.
Yeah, and our phone systems, we do phone systems now. And the great thing about the phone system is you can't be a jack of all trades. You end up being a master of none. But the phone systems that we offer are now completely handled and managed and serviced by another company who knows that
Like
business.
VoIP type thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing with that is that our service department isn't taxed with service calls because it's all done through them, which is 100% U.S. based.
Yeah.
Across the country, 24/7. Yep. And you know what it's like and I have nothing against someone that has an accent that's going over, but the problem is that there's a culture difference there, and it seems like I'm trying to communicate my problem, and I don't think they're understanding where I'm going from. So all that is just is something that this company Salties does that's taken a lot off of our plate.
Yeah, my problem is just when they're not located in the. I don't care what your accent is. When you're just not located in the U.S., that's a bigger issue.
Well, yeah, that's a great point.
Right.
Yeah, we try to support U.S. made products too.
And who here wouldn't pay? Who, if you got Chinese eggs and U.S. eggs, and they're $2 more for the U.S. eggs, I'm buying the U.S. eggs. I don't give a fuck. But a lot of people want to buy the U.S. stuff, and that's what you're paying for is that convenience of whatever may happen. I mean, it's not going to apply to eggs, obviously, but down the road in service for you guys, something like that. If you're going to get a person, then that's what people want to deal with.
Yeah.
And there's a value in paying for that.
I don't know what all the calls that come in are for. I'd say mostly service.
Yeah.
And when you're calling in for service, there's a problem. And when you have a problem, it's a bad thing. When you get a human being, you feel like someone's already empathetic on the other side. It's not a push the one and two,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
end up getting, what was that again? Repeat?
Yeah, right.
It's just,
And then a disconnect. That really fucking frosts my balls.
They're already angry.
man,
They're already
man,
like a solid
Oh,
7
man.
out of 10.
Yeah.
By the third button they
Yeah.
push into the phone
Yeah.
tree, now they're at 10 out of 10. I'm like, I don't care who answers the phone.
remember rotary
They're in.
phones?
That's
back in
right,
the day?
that's right,
Imagine how
right.
That
Yeah.
would have worked.
Yeah. So,
Fucking zeros.
so on the IT end, so that's the piece you're going to manage or sort of oversee.
Yep.
How is that integrated into businesses as far as so because from my perspective, most businesses are not going to want you to be connected to their IT system for security or proprietary reasons.
No, that's actually the exact opposite. They want somebody who is going to protect their business. They want us to monitor to make sure everybody, not Big Brother, making sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to do, but I always tell our clients that it's people that hack aren't going through going 111 trying to hack your password.
Mm-hmm.
What they do is they knock on the door, and it doesn't matter how well your security system is. If you open the door and let them in, they're in the house.
Mm-hmm.
We're there to monitor that. So we watch files, we watch product or software and processes in the background for things that don't look right. They want us to monitor that. We're not looking at individual documents. Don't care about your proprietary buildings or what
Emails.
the new things.
Right.
We don't care about all that stuff. We just want to make sure all your data is secured.
But it's only on the printer piece of it.
Oh,
No.
So
Full
you've got to see.
Oh, you guys offer full network security.
Yes.
absolutely.
Okay.
Interesting. I got some
Yes.
questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell you, it's a great segue because I was just telling James on the way up today. I had one of my phones is going batshit crazy. I've got like Easy Pass saying that I owe a bill, and it's like and then I go to Easy Pass, like what the hell happened?
That's why you need an iPhone.
Yeah, I have both.
Is it the
Oh,
iPhone?
yeah,
Is it the iPhone acting up?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck.
Well,
Lost
no,
that
see,
one, James.
no.
Lost that one, James.
You can confirm it. I called them earlier today and says, use this phone today. My other one's acting up. The one I had them call is my iPhone. That one's okay. But but the problem exists somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I went to Easy Pass New York to see if someone nailed me with a charge or what if I owe something. And the system was blacked out because it crashed with so many people. This must be happening.
Everybody's
across
having
the
it. Yeah.
board.
Yeah.
It must be happening across the board. And then I get these ones from PayPal saying that I've been hacked and some guy took $700 and I'm like looking, but no one has. This happened 4 times in the last 24 hours, and I can't say it's happened that often. So what I'm getting at is those are phishing things. They're trying to get you to go, and that is the kind of stuff that a lot of people. Most of the ransomware and things, some big companies this has happened to that we take care of for the copier side of things, but they have their own IT. The open door comes with an email that gets opened
With a link
by
or
an
some bullshit,
employee,
yeah.
And but we have systems in the background that are running that say, wait a minute, this email looks like somebody that you often see, but there's a little something different. If you've got it, you look down on the bottom of it and they got the phone number that looks like it's wacky. There's something spelled wrong. Our system sees that.
Or act now. You got to do this now. When it's an urgent thing, you're like,
Everything's
flags
urgent.
it.
Yeah. That's like red.
Yeah.
But we have a system that monitors all those little things and it puts it into a separate quarantine that says, take a look at this later. And I can tell you that with 100, not 99, 100%, I have gone into that because we have it on our own systems, obviously. That's one thing. We don't sell anything we don't use. And I go into it 100% of the time. It's junk.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's from him. But there's like a comma or an extra dot somewhere. And they caught it. I never would have.
So there's different levels
see.
of attack. So there's digital attack. There's also social engineering attack.
That's a problem.
So have you guys ever encountered any of those attacks and had to defend against it? And have there been difficulties with that?
It's very sophisticated, and AI is not. AI is being employed in this, where it is a system of where AI is, like James said earlier, no one's looking at an individual account trying to break in. They have a code and they run it across the board. And then when it finds one, it says, we've got 16 companies that we got into. What do you want to do? And if they're small companies, it's move on.
Yep.
If they're big companies, boom.
Right.
So that's how their algorithms are. And if you really got into it and understood it, it's scary because it's always a cat and mouse game. Radar detector, radar.
Yeah, right.
Change from X to K, KA, and then P, and then photo, and all those things. I used to have them when I was younger. And it's gotten really sophisticated with AI.
So James, majority of attacks are going to be digital, correct? It's the easiest because it can be done remotely. Do you guys have any clients that hire outside companies to purposely perpetrate their system, attack it through social engineering, to find flaws that could...
You're talking about like a trap. Someone's trying to trap.
So you work for
a fake attack.
Company A.
Oh,
Company
you work for Walmart
A,
and you want to see if you can get
Company
through a
A
seal and
hires
stuff
another
and see how your
company to
security
break
works.
in.
yeah. Part of our package is we can set that up for our customers.
Oh, okay.
Is, once a quarter, we can all of a sudden send out an email blast to the staff that says, hey, your time card's not in. Can you please log in and do your time card to
I
this
want my money.
link?
Yeah.
And when they
Right.
click on the link,
That's automatic.
it has,
Right, exactly.
Surprise, you've been.
But
that sort
so
of attack.
what I'm saying is those are digital attacks,
Okay.
right?
You're talking about it,
Social engineering. Have you dealt with a company who has hired another company to create a social engineering attack? Where, say, I came in and I said, "Hey, I have an interview. I'm so sorry, I haven't had a chance to print it. Can I plug in my USB port to download some print resume?" And then it's a malware. Have you guys had to deal with something like that?
well,
That's a good question.
one of the things that we always tell our clients is you don't let people plug into your systems. There are, with our technology, with our printers and copiers, you can give them a secure wireless connection just to that device where they don't even have to get on the network to print to that. And that's what we train our clients to do to get away with that. If a software, by chance, Agnes opens the door and lets them plug the USB in, again, we have software in the background that if all of a sudden, files start encrypting that are not supposed to encrypt, automatically shuts off the NIC card, sends it to our desk and
That's
says,
good.
hey, what's going on? Then we
That's
restore
good.
their backup.
So you have 24-hour monitoring or something like this?
All of our software is 24-hour monitoring. That goes right into our service software for us. A lot of times something like that where a software starts or a file starting to act funny already alerts our guys and already gives us kind of a suggestion of here's what you should do to go there. We also do backups every night for the software. So, this past year, there was a bunch of flooding up Lewis County in Lowville. One of our clients were basically their basement. They come in and their basement where all their server and everything is water's coming from the basement door out because there was so much water. We were able to get all their stuff back and going. They only kind of lost a little bit from
Right, whatever that time period is from midnight to 7 or something like this, right?
So it's all cloud backup.
all cloud backup.
Okay.
Yep. In order to be true backup, it needs to be off-site.
Another location.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's all automatic anyway, or scheduled, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have it on site for a quick backup. Your computer hard drive dies, you want to just quickly restore it. Then we have disaster recovery backup. So
And all that is autonomous.
yes,
Like no hands-on.
yep. We test them.
Nice.
So
It's so relieving if you're in that situation,
yep. We brought on clients that had been a breach before they came on with us, and we'd go in. They're like, "Oh, we have backups." Until okay, here's the situation. Well, none of their backups have been tested for 6 months, and they had no backups. They lost 6 months worth of data. They lost 6 months worth of accounts receivable.
That's a lot.
People aren't willy-nilly like, hey, I think I owe you money. They're waiting for those invoices to come out on there to make those payments. And that's what we're there. We're trying to put a peace of mind so you can focus on what you do as an expert every single day in that field.
Chris, you're going to say something.
When you buy car insurance, home insurance, the driving forces, what's it cost? Right. And then if you have a really good agent, they'll say things like replacement cost is more important than fair market value because things are more expensive to replace than it is just to rebuild than it is to replace, right? Very few people ask the important question of let's say my house burnt down. Go step by step through what, am I 6 months out from getting the money to, no one asks those questions because they're so zeroed in on this isn't going to happen to me, of course, but I got to have it. I should have it. And what the cost is. One of the things that I feel that we're really good at teaching our customers, it's not just a matter of, we really feel, I know this sounds cliche, but we really feel like our customers are our partners. If we can help them to succeed and we can help them to thrive, then guess what? We're going to thrive right behind them.
Yeah.
You take advantage of your customer, then guess what? They're out of business, and so are you with that particular client because you're not going to repeat business with them ever again.
And your reputation with that.
We can't afford to have that kind of reputation because we're so small.
Right.
You've gone by those fast food restaurants where there's never a car, and you say, how do they stay open? Because they got 600 of them in the state that keep them propped up. We don't have that luxury. We're not a 1-800 company.
Yeah.
Okay. And we spend a lot of money not to go automated.
Well, and it's
We spend
interesting.
a lot of money to pay people to answer the phone, but we're not going to stop.
It's interesting you mention this because a previous person we just talked to was a small business owner and very conscientious and just everybody has to make money in order to live, but a lot of the people, and it just turns out this way with us, a lot of the people we talk to, they're genuinely, they give a shit about what they're doing. It's not just like, I want to make money. I really don't care about you. And I don't want to do afterwards. It's again, a conscientious, decision that you're making to be in it for the long haul, not just to get some money and get the fuck out of there. Right.
You show me that kind of person, and I'll show you the resume that says that
That's
every
right.
6 months they bounce around.
Yeah, exactly.
until
You're
they're
right.
caught. We have a tenure of, I came back to this company after spending 10 years having a really life-changing situation that happened to me, developing a passion for what people helped me for and deciding I had to do that. Everybody freaked out when I left because why? I took a huge pay cut, but I had to follow this passion, and I stuck with it. I didn't bounce around. I love my resume because the last 26 years, it's two places.
Right,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
But when I came back, it was open arms. People hugged me when I came back, and some of the people were still there that when I left. And that's the kind of community we have. It's business we have. Started in Watertown, got an office in Cicero. It's more or less just kind of a place where we can be down there and have supplies, and I can stop because I cover that area. James was there today, so we have kind of a stopping place.
Are you based out of Syracuse?
We have Watertown.
No, you physically.
Oh, yeah. My business card will give you the Syracuse number and the address because that's
I know
my
you're not.
primary area.
And
I cover the 5 counties. Wherever the
He's-
sales reps
he's
send
everywhere.
me
Okay.
to deliver on their promises, it's just
It's like the amoeba
9 a.m.
defense.
and I on up.
The amoeba defense.
So you do. So if your part is software engineering, your software is for printers or for the security part of it?
This is where it's going to get dry.
Oh boy.
Get some more beer.
We don't have to just
No.
make it fun.
No, so the
I'm just
software side
curious
of it is-
because there can be software on
Yes.
printers. There can be software. I just found out you guys do security, so that's
most of the software I work with is in regards to document input and output. So our document management software, when you're scanning in, most people, you scan into your email or you scan into a folder, you rename it, you move it. I help create automated systems. When you scan in your invoices, it's automatically dropping it into the advanced
file,
business systems folders,
This
the
is
Napa
sick.
Auto
It's
folders. and
awesome
stuff
what he
like
does,
that.
but
nice.
But then there's also, schools, law offices that they want to control the documents coming off the printer.
Yeah.
So we have that software that too that, not only it controls the output. So, if Johnny's printing this off, he hits print and then he realizes, oh, I forgot to make this change. He makes a few more changes, hit it, print again. They're not going to the copier and having 15 of the different versions. He only releases the one version that they have
Oh, okay.
on there. In law offices, they bill back a lot of times for what they're printing out for their clients. So if their client wants
That's
50
interesting,
different
yeah.
versions, every time they print, they select James
Yeah.
Dufresne,
Yeah.
printed 10 pages. It goes into their billing software that
I forgot to spell the name wrong or some bullshit, and you can stop that from printing out and wasting those pages, right?
absolutely.
So
For confidentiality, imagine if you work for the FBI and you got a centralized printer, right? Everybody's printing 26 people. You send a job out there. You're getting your ass out of your table, out of your desk, and you're grabbing it before someone else prints on top of it and grabs it, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's called proof and hold, or it's called private print, okay? You proof and hold that it basically sends it over to the machine. You go over and you just go into your mailbox and say, now release the job.
You got to put in like an employee number or some code or some
private.
bullshit. Yeah.
Now, when you want to take it a step
I like
further,
my privates.
yeah,
he just doesn't like them to be
what's your
printed.
code?
69.
You got to know the code.
Speaking of FBI, is that true that in the States or
You answer this one.
or the printers, when you print, there's some kind of a code they can determine where it was printed, location?
Well, there's IP addresses, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
No. In the code of like the ink or something, there's like you gotta.
There's a hard drive that can record. Let's say you went to the FBI.
No.
right?
In the actual print paper, is
The
that
ink
true?
the ink on the paper?
Yeah, like it's a hidden code or something. Is that true?
I can't say
Probably.
yes or no.
Oh, that's
aware of
a
it.
fucking lie. That's a fucking lie.
No, we're starting to dabble into the foil hat sort of stuff. I don't think it's like if I burn this paper, it's going to tell me the meaning.
No, not.
Can you
that.
print invisible ink?
Yeah.
No. What?
There is microtoner, which is
Just-
magnetic, so that's what your checks are done with.
Just-
It's a
just-
special kind of.
Just things I see on TV, on shows, and they do this, and I'm just curious if it's real or just shit for the
Hey,
show.
hop in the paper after we're done here.
Yeah. Hollywood's not real, Roman.
If you try to make copies of money, okay, take $100 bill, put it on sophisticated. Like if you saw the quality of the replication between original and now print job on our 4 series machines, there really is. You can't tell. So if you try to do money, this is years ago.
Oh yeah, a friend told you, right?
Actually send I think it used to give you a warning and say do it again, and then second time Secret Service is going to show up in your office.
Locks down the
And it's
machine.
happened
Why? Because they can tell the software can
because they're
tell us
digital
mo-
machines.
Yeah.
They're connected everywhere.
Mhm.
Yeah. And that's why when we get machines back from our customers, we have a fairly sophisticated system of our IT folks bringing back machines and scrubbing the hard
Yeah.
drive. In fact, we have a hard drive breaker, and they kind of have a party out there where they break these
Yeah.
things, and then we send a certificate to the client that
Right.
says your hard drive has been destroyed, and because a lot of machines are leased. I mean, 80% of our deals are leased
Yep.
because no one wants to own a machine and then keep that for as long as you can because they want the change. I mean, imagine your cell phone. A lot of people do cell phones, and then every 4 years they get a new one because the iPhone 16 becomes the
Right.
20. You don't be stuck with the 16 forever and paid $900 for it, right? So that's the same thing with
Yeah.
copiers, is that most of ours are leased. But they do go back to the leasing company, end up on eBay. So you want
Right.
that hard drive scrubbed.
But there's no liability for you guys as far as what's on a. So say someone tried to print money, and that's on a hard drive, and that printer comes back to you guys. There's nothing there. You guys can be
You
liable.
try to print money, it locks up the machine, and we don't even have the code to unlock it. It has to come through Kyocera direct out of Japan.
And they won't do it.
and
Yeah,
they won't.
yeah.
Obviously.
No,
someone-
I imagine it's a pretty remote thing. I just was
You
curious.
know,
Yeah.
as we're talking about this, it's something that you think about. Like, okay, we're talking about this. What's the case that someone might try this one time, just innocuous kind of a thing that they don't mean to, they're just playing around, and then it locks up forever. Their machine's done. It's almost like one of those aha moments where you say, maybe we need to put a form out that says, please don't try to copy money.
Yeah, yeah.
Or in the demos, like I sell a machine, I give the demos. There's no one else that goes out there. There's no one more important to me than the customer that bought it. I'm going to be the guy out there. They should start telling people, by the way, don't try to copy money on
exactly.
this. Because it will lock up. And
Yeah.
secrets, I mean, before I left in the 10 years I was here before, someone tried it and Secret Service showed up at their doorstep the next day.
Wow.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Counterfeiting is a big deal.
Yep.
But not in the printer hard drive itself, but in the print itself. So like someone printed a ransom letter for kidnapping or whatever.
I know what you're saying. Is there a
some
way
kind
to
of a code?
track? It's
Like
kind of
where
like
it was printed.
okay.
Go
So when
back.
you shoot a bullet out of a gun,
Yeah.
every
Yeah,
gun,
gun talk.
yeah, baby. every gun has
Fingerprint.
through the rifling, basically a fingerprint.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that you can, if you find the bullet, you can tell what serial number that gun, and that was became incumbent on the manufacturer of the gun to have on everything, and it's probably solved a lot of cases that otherwise wouldn't have.
Yeah, the ballistic piece of it. Yeah.
I'm not aware of that, but if the human mind can think of it and you thought of it, probably true.
I was just wondering, like, for example, I mentioned ransom. Someone printed a ransom letter, right? They kidnapped somebody. They get it. Like, let's look at the code. They zoom in digitally. Okay, it was printed at this location.
This guy, he's so deep.
Then we check security cameras. Who fucking printed it at that time? Okay, find this guy. That's, you know what I mean? Like, you kind of go back and you step
You
by
can almost
step.
DNA the newspaper that people cut out things and say, "Have a kid,
Yeah.
$1 million." And they're
Instead of
"This
writing
came
it,
from- this came from Newark, and this letter came from Boston, and together it's somewhere on the East Coast.
Right. Yeah.
So I was just wondering
It's
because
Beeville.
Yeah,
most most criminals are stupid. That's why they get caught, right? And they make mistakes. So if that's one of the information to catch them,
I'm going to dispute that.
Know.
I think the criminals that haven't been caught are the smart ones. We don't know about them yet.
That's true, which is a small percentage.
I think you watch too many
Make
movies.
it bigger.
No, I just have a larger imagination.
Large. That's the only thing that's larger.
I mean,
How would you know that?
if you've got your nose,
James told me.
if you've got your nose
You were just
to the
deep throating the microphone.
James told me.
I had no problem making eye contact.
What he printed is not true. So
How
you
do we
guys,
get off of guns.
yeah. So you guys do outdoor activities, hunting, stuff like that.
I love
Both of you guys?
Yeah, I'm a military brat.
Oh,
Okay.
did you serve?
No, a brat is
Spawn.
it's an acronym.
You were Spawn.
Yeah, it's a spawn. I watched that movie. That was awful. It's an acronym, and I used to know what it meant. It'll come back to me later. I'll get it. But my father was military, and I got to see the world. I mean, it was a great family life. It was tough. I mean, you had to leave your friends in the middle of the school year and kind of go to a new school, and maybe it was in Europe, and had to acclimate into a group of kids that already had friendships and stuff. I mean, I've never had a friend for my whole life kind of thing because I've been around the place. Born in Syracuse, funny enough, because my father got stationed in Fort Drum, so he ended there. So I do have most of my tenure in New York State, so I do have some good friendships. But being a military brat was really an interesting life, and I got to see the world, and I loved the reason I stayed here through an anchor is because I love the hunting and fishing.
Yeah.
You got Lake Ontario here. You got a country, a country 35 miles north of where I live. You've got Syracuse. You've got these beautiful communities, and Lake Ontario. Really, you got Great Lakes all over the place. So it's a really good place. A lot of people have left here. I've had a lot of high school kids or friends that went to Boston and they always came back home.
Yeah.
It's like something they missed. And I'm like, I've been around the world. I know what it's like to move, and it's really nice to have an anchor and family, because what else matters when you grow old than having family around you?
No, people don't understand it. And I mean, I think a lot of what happens in New York is policy driven and by some other sort of government issues. But, when people, I lived in Michigan for a few years in the early 90s, and you go there and people are like, oh, you don't have a New York City accent. But they don't realize that all of New York is not New York City.
If you're from New York, you're from the city.
Yeah.
You're Manhattan.
But that's it. I mean, we
You're
have
from Brooklyn, and
we have great mountains. And we talked about this before. There's great fishing, hunting, hiking. There's a lot of stuff that's really just people don't recognize why people would come back to New York for that reason. I mean, the weather's shitty. Yeah, the weather. the weather. Well, the problem with the weather is it's very, very beautiful for 4 months. But then you get like
That's a stretch, but
you
we
get to use your pool for
Right.
4 months.
right, and that's the problem. And
Then
then
you get to ice skate in your back pond for 8.
yeah, but you're ice skating in fucking August because the weather sucks.
This has been a real winter.
Yeah, it's
has been a
it's,
real
it's just cold. It beats up your
Is there
cars.
snow in Armenia, by the way?
Maybe in the mountains. I don't know. I was little when I left.
Okay.
But you're picturing a wrong fucking picture. Let me. You're making people not want to come here.
Yeah, because Holko sucks.
Let me
so-
explain something. All right.
I love you, friend.
First of all, the beauty of nature based on a person. So I love seasons. I love winter. because you get to do winter activities.
It's like we're on the Oprah channel.
I like go fuck you. it's view.
This is the view. You're Whoopi. You're Whoopi then.
Oh, okay. Because I'm the darkest. And then
Just lost all our crowd.
and then
Look at the
in
numbers.
the
It's
fall,
going right now.
in the fall, it's beautiful. I mean,
Oh, you're not kidding.
the hills, the
seasons are-
greenery all turns to like these majestic colors.
There's a smell attached, and it's not bad.
Yeah.
It really
Spring,
yeah.
spring. I mean, you see all these
It's like, God
different
bless, there was a God.
greens and flowers, right? You're looking
Everything
forward
starts
to
to
the
bloom,
summer.
yep.
Summer is like super busy, so many activities. Moving here from a bigger city, I find it like what you said. I can go hunting, I can go fishing, I can go camping, I can go snowboarding, I can go snowmobiling, I can do winter camping, summer camping, whatever. There's so much to do.
Changes the season.
We won't have droughts. There's so many rivers, lakes, so much rain we have, so much snow that melts. I mean, I feel like besides taxes and some of the toxic policies, everything else is great. I've measured within 6-hour drive radius,
Oh yeah.
draw a circle.
Get to Boston. So
You will hit so many major cities. You can even go to Canada. I mean, you cover most of Northeast.
Yep.
Within 6-hour drive. So drive 6 hours, make a radius, and you'll hit all the major cities. Yeah. And what
I just dove into the New York State taxes and where we rank in terms of taxes. And, there's 9 states, I think, currently that have no income tax.
Right, yeah. So burst his fucking bubble because he's all into flowers and shit.
I said,
Everything
dude,
you said is
everything you
true.
said
He
is
just
correct.
avoided
I
the
know.
taxes
Right.
part.
no.
He
I said
avoided
besides
that.
taxes and
Yeah.
toxic policies, everything else is great.
And the policies, if you look at the state as a whole, I mean,
I'm just fucking
red.
picking on you. Yeah.
whole
Well,
fucking
my
state
wife
is
says
red.
there's no blue states as blue cities.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your wife said that?
Yeah, my wife said that.
I love your wife.
Yeah, she's that way.
Write that down.
Yeah, she's that way. She's us.
I love it when women get into politics and actually have strong statements because
No matter what the statement is.
no matter what the,
Just strong.
James, I think we need more beer. I got to get up and get beer.
Good.
All right.
Man.
We took a break. We're back. New beer.
We did have to talk to James about something you mentioned. I said something. You said talk to James about it.
Oh, the reason why I'm bald. Yes, last summer we had a sales event for the
Not only him,
guys.
I think
The
there's
CEO of the company
Yep.
had a really nice hair.
Ryan, right?
Yep, Ryan. Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Really nice hair.
looked at the numbers. I'm a data guy. I'm looking at the numbers, and we set the goal. It was like, this has never been done. So I'm going to add a few more to it with net new. And don't they crush the goal in the first 2 months out of the 3-month thing? And I'm like, oh. So we end up having the, the sales reps and staff be able to shave my head.
Mhm.
Save the
Wait.
CEO's head in the office.
Back up a little. So before it was called the summer bounty. You got to make some fun of this. And the deal is if you hit this many net new customers and sales, he's going to shave his head. If you hit this many more, Ryan's going to shave his head. And in the first month and a half, it got to be so, I made a mistake that we had to add one of the office managers, a girl.
She shaved her head?
No.
Oh.
But they wanted to add her because the goal was a little bit, the bar was set too low.
Yeah.
So in order to keep the momentum, you got to have the next one, right? Or else it's kind of like, it's kind of die. Take your foot off the gas. So it was her. And it was like, we don't want to see her shaved. So, not her head.
so how many bald guys you guys have now?
Oh,
They
everything.
kept it on this was in June, July.
So if they lost, would you have to grow your hair out?
There wasn't an option. and they should have known better
Yeah.
because when you put that on our plates,
Yeah.
we're going to eat it.
Yeah, the sales team
We ate it.
ate it up pretty quick, and I'm just like, after a month, I'm like, well, this is not how the data said it was going to go. So this is awkward. And then Ryan's like, you don't think they're going to hit? And then they blew past his, so we put Kelly's on, and they got close enough where Kelly was starting to sweat, and all of a sudden she's like, "Well, I don't know if I'm going to shave my
I'll shave the
head.
sides and see how it looks
shave the
right
sides
now."
underneath, so everything stays on."
Well, at least she's giving options,
Yeah.
Everything became a target.
Yeah.
Like gas stations. We don't call on gas stations. We don't call on Target and Walmart, but they were options.
Yep.
They were options. We wanted to win. We wanted to win big.
So now you're just keeping it off.
So we got a video of it on
Yeah,
Facebook.
it's very easy.
Oh.
Yep.
And we're doing it to AC/DC's Back in Black.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Nice.
So you said what? You're keeping it off?
Yeah, after I went shaved, I was like, the wife likes it. I actually had the beard trimmed up yesterday, but the wife, Ryan doesn't bicker on my beard getting too long. It gives me a little bit, 2 extra weeks, 3 extra weeks before I have to trim it up. So
We tried to up
Like,
the
it's
odds
good.
and have it like, all right, we already beat it. Let's shave your beard for the next one. He's
No.
like, that ain't happening.
No.
He would not put that on the table.
I'll
He's
do
going
it.
to Iceland in 2 weeks.
I'll do it for you. So Iceland, that's cool. But you got to dye his beard a certain color. That would be the next bet.
that's a dye.
Because the dye will come out. So
Yeah.
pink or green. You'd be
Live with
a good fucking leprechaun.
Yeah,
So
I
short-sighted. We should have thought of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like shaving, and I'm like, I told the wife, I'm like, I think they want me to shave my beard, and she's like, last time you shaved your beard off, coming out of COVID, one of the sales reps like, do the Wolverine beard,
Yeah.
set it up like that. So
Yeah.
for our first remote
Instead of a
sales
color, I
meeting,
think a style.
I go in, and then I'm like, oh man, it's not gonna grow back in. I gotta shave it off, and she's like, you cried for 4 days, you wouldn't leave the house. I'm like, I know. And she's just like,
No, I think you dye it pink or something.
oh yeah, I rock that all day.
I trimmed it for the first time in almost over a year, I think.
So this came up because I was talking about the history of our logo.
Yeah.
Like how I lost the Instagram
Oh,
back,
yeah, that's
and I had to grow a beard, and I grew my hair, and I didn't like my hair that long, and now I got
Yeah.
this fucking beard, and
I think
that doesn't look anything like us.
in the near future we gotta edit our logo.
Like what?
I have to be bald because my wife was like, "Huh." She's touching my head. She goes, "You're going bald." I'm like, "Fuck, shave it."
If you can't beat them, join them. That's
It's
what I
like-
did.
Yeah,
Now, see, I'm not bald.
I don't mind
just-
being bald.
I cut my hair short.
Oh, listen, you're looking a little follicly challenged. here.
No,
Thank
no,
you,
no.
There's
James.
a lot of scalp
No.
going on.
I'm not overweight. I'm under height.
I keep telling him that. He's like, "What are you talking about? I got so much hair." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
You know what I got to say to you
Spent a
guys?
lot of time moving those 7 follicles.
This is what I got to
around.
say to you guys.
That's how you know this guy. I love you.
So we were talking about outdoors and
And guns.
guns.
Love guns.
You have a kid? You guys
Yes, I
you guys
have.
both have kids?
Yep, I have a 13-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Oh wow!
So
And you've done outdoor things with the kids, both kids?
yes, love to do the hiking. We were talking a little bit on the break there. Before Sawyer was born,
Oh, good name.
Sawyer's who?
is the daughter. Her happy birthday tomorrow. Well, happy birthday
Oh,
tomorrow for her. But when the guys will be
Happy birthday when your birthday is, Sawyer.
Yeah.
Sawyer's a special girl.
Yeah, she was born 11 weeks early, so she was the one that kind of like, all right, we're gonna get in her, but she loves hiking. She doesn't get she can't handle the full. Right now we're starting her on Green Lakes, and she can do about half of the figure 8 there, but she loves to be outdoors. And we're gonna get back into our thing you were mentioning, 6 mile or 6 hours around. You can be anywhere.
yeah.
Sundays prior to Sawyer we'd hit this random wheel generator with a bunch of cities and towns in central and northern New York, all to western New York, stuff like that. Whatever the town came up, we'd go to all trails. We'd find a trail to hike, and then we'd find a
Cool.
brewery or a pub to go for lunch
that's
that day.
cool.
So that's what we're aimed to get back to.
Nice.
With her on that. So, and my son, he lives down in Myrtle Beach. When he comes up, he's always like, "Where are we going hiking? Where are we going to go?"
Nice.
So
That's what I like about this area is outdoors.
Yes.
Easy access.
yes.
My son was 1 when we started camping. I would bring a pack and play that would put in
How old is he now?
in a tent, 12.
2. He's 2.
So we started as soon as he
He's
turned
1.5.
since he turned 1. That was like our benchmark. Like he turns 1, we go back to doing outdoors. Because before he was born, my wife and I, we would go camping. We do crazy road trips, just spontaneous shit. Like we just have gear. We don't
That's
even know.
fun.
We don't know where we're gonna stay. We went to Utah. I have a family there. We visited them.
A second family?
Mormon?
Then
Yeah, like another wife?
no
family?
Mormons. No Mormons. Then my martial art
How many
instructor,
wives?
17. Then
Wait a
That's a
minute.
pretty exact number.
Yeah, man. You didn't pick that out of your ass there.
no, that was my jersey number.
You
That's
knew.
why. So
All virgins?
Not anymore. So
At one time.
you fucker.
Sorry. I was paid to disrupt you.
That's okay. Who Frank was paying with beer or reach arounds.
Same thing.
Touche.
You need both.
So we rented it.
close.
We rented an SUV, and then my old martial art instructor let me borrow all the camping gear. So my wife and I did this big loop in Utah. We hit all these main parks, and we didn't know where we were staying. We would just open the map.
That's the beauty of it.
We would open the map, we look for campsite logos, and just head over there. We had like a Garmin GPS, and
No one uses those fucking things anymore.
and that's it. We hit Bryce Canyon, Zion, Grand Canyon. We found Lake Powell by accident. We're like in the middle of the desert at the gas station. There's like fishing lures. I'm like, where the fuck do you
That's the
fish
beauty
here?
of not having a child with it. Your child wasn't with you, right?
No.
This was-
Right. That's
Because
before.
you can make those mistakes and not worry.
Right.
Yep.
So Lake Powell is a man-made lake. Then we went to Four Corners. We can touch 4 states at the same time. Then we went to Arches, back to Salt Lake. So we did like this fucking, I don't know, a few thousand miles loop, right? So all these things we did together before my son was born. Then he was born. We waited till he's 1. Then we started camping with him. We started bringing him out into the nature, kayaking,
Got the
backpack.
little Papa San thing on
Yeah,
the front
we
end.
were in California. We went to Redwood. Something similar to that.
Use a flotation
On the front
device.
side, right? It's only one.
You just sit on your back and float.
I think what you're talking about is called
Some kangaroo or
yeah, but not bidet. It's
But they cleans your ass.
yeah.
whoops.
Yeah, it's also
that's-
it's also a water fountain
That's true.
or a drinking fountain.
Drinking.
Anyways, I forgot what it's called, but yes, I had that. We were in California and we went to Redwoods, and I wanted to hike out to the tree that had a tunnel in it. Like you could,
Yeah, you're talking
Yeah,
big
you could drive through those, right?
the sequoia trees.
Sequoia.
Yeah.
So I had one of those exterior frame backpacks where he would sit in the back,
Gotcha.
and there was like more space for like
He's one.
food
here.
and shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hiked with him all the way to the tree. It was like a couple miles from where we parked.
Nice.
And, we enjoyed the whole thing, came back. So he's been exposed to nature. Like this kid has been out around the world in more places than
Kids today need to leave the house.
Yeah.
they need to.
Need to leave the
Absolutely.
house.
And I
It
think,
is- it
I
is a
think
problem.
being like where we are, it's an easy, inexpensive access to do this stuff.
You can go out and stand on like 45 feet of water and pull in some of the best eating fish
Mhm.
right out in Lake Ontario. Ice
Yeah.
Yeah, not on a doggy lake.
No. That's
There's
that's
fish in there.
They,
thought-
if you eat that fish,
I know birds lay in there, but
Yeah.
they never fly.
if you eat that fish,
exactly.
if you eat fish from Onondaga Lake, your dick glows.
Yeah.
And we're back.
Yeah.
back to that again.
Fuck, so that's the problem I have.
But there's an advantage for that. We've already talked about that.
Yeah, it's
off
like
the
it's
air.
it's a human glow stick.
So
mean,
when I go at night
I'll try it.
kayaking, Frank stands on the shore with his pants down. That's how I know.
Right, because it's big enough for him to see.
Yeah.
I blink my eyes and it's like a strobe.
I save money on the glow stick. He just goes like this.
Where are we at on the map? I don't know. Let's get Roman's dick out and point.
Yeah.
We got a pointer here. Where's north?
So do you guys go out shooting,
Oh goodness. I
hunting, or
honestly, I have no interest in burning up, $1 a round ammo.
I'll tell you what, 9mm I saw today, $14 for a box of 50.
So that's like what, 60 cents a round?
No, it's like
less.
it's like
Less than that.
yeah, it's like fucking 20, right?
Don't hold me to it. I'm just a sales guy.
Yeah, right? I don't know. I didn't do the math, and we've had beer.
that's cheap actually. That's
Right, it's really cheap.
It used to be like $30 or $40 per.
It's like $175 for 500 rounds. Something like that.
And in order to get that, you have to go through a background check,
Right.
a fingerprint.
No. Not unless you do that 6 hour radius thing, but just take 2 to Pennsylvania.
I got family there.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's such a bullshit law.
Do you
by the way.
hunt?
It is. Oh yeah, I have a guide's license where I take people waterfowl hunting.
Oh, you're a guide.
I have a guide's license
Yeah.
in New York State to do that and to take fishing, but I can't without a captain's license. I can't legally take people on Lake Ontario because it's a tributary. It's connected to an ocean, basically, so you got to have a captain's license. But I can take people on inland lakes and things like that.
We know someone with a captain's license.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of them around here.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Lake Ontario right here. So
Coach?
Yeah.
Does he have a captain's
I think so.
Oh.
Yeah.
yeah, that would permit somebody to take people on a commercial fishing trip and charge for it.
He's got like a 40-foot boat or 45, whatever. Like.
Well, he's got a diving school.
Diving school.
Yeah, like scuba diving.
Like scuba diving. That's
Yeah.
that I would like to get because that would be you can get that in like Cancun. Take
Oh,
like
no.
an hour and a half in the
if you're-
pool.
if
Oh,
you're
yeah. Yeah, that's right.
If you're interested,
I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. I'd be dead.
Yeah.
They called the Benz.
You can also go to sex change in Taiwan for $12. So.
no.
Taiwan tranny.
we do have someone.
What the fuck happened here?
We do have
Start
someone.
with a hunting question.
Yeah.
There goes
Yeah.
the guns again.
Yeah.
It's a love gun. It's a flesh pistol.
Growing up in this area, I mean, I went full board at it, and
Yeah.
it got to the point
Flash
where
pistols?
I got
He did. He went full bore. He said it.
He wanted to change the subject.
We were talking about the
Go ahead,
flesh
Chris.
pistol, and you said you went full bore at it.
Go ahead, Chris.
hunting thing. The hunting.
Yeah.
Hunting for dick.
Talk about hunting.
That's not me. That's over here.
He pointed at you
That's the
like.
little guy. Well, we started that in the beginning of this whole thing. So
Yeah. So, what kind of game do you hunt?
I like to hunt anything that we can eat, venison. Before I go there, though, the reason I got into guiding was because I got bored with killing birds, killing ducks and things. I mean, I was lucky to have people that brought me into it, and it was just waterfowl is different than hunting deer because you get to call and you get to bring them in. A deer is like you got to sit somewhere. I mean, no one calls in a deer on a regular basis. They say they do, they're lying. It's rare to call in a deer.
No, they fucking feed them.
Well,
So I've heard. A friend told me.
in some states,
James,
that's
my friend James told me.
illegal. Yeah. There's more of a, you can hang out with guys who don't have to worry
Yeah.
about scent. You can, be in the same crew of guys and hunt ducks. And it got to the point where I was like, I really want to like bring other people into this, especially kids.
Yeah.
Because getting kids involved is like our future. You don't get them in, then Wayne LaPierre was
Yeah.
the NRA.
NRA. Yeah.
Who's going to replace him? Where's the kids? You know what I mean? The kids are sitting in the house playing Nintendo. Nintendo. That's all they am.
Well, whatever gaming.
Playing
Yeah.
the shit. Yeah. So you get them out, you get them loving the outdoors, and when I saw kids like take birds that I put on them, that I help the kids to shoot the birds. I mean, if you look at my business card and you scan it, you'll see the whole report of my bio, which is on our website, and there's nothing better than seeing that happen.
Yeah.
You live vicariously through them. Like, we don't open Christmas presents anymore and get excited, do we? I don't.
Yeah.
But when my little kid does, I
Usually a sweater.
you know what I mean?
Unless it's a
Or a
beer.
tie.
If it's a beer, oh, cool.
Alpaca
The in-laws.
socks.
Right. They're good for that. Right?
Select
Alpaca
years there,
socks?
so
Worth
it's nice.
getting alpaca socks, alpaca wool. It's a whole different animal.
Is there a big
That's
difference?
exciting.
Is there a big difference between emu and alpaca?
I don't know.
I had.
Alpaca and llama, you mean? I think those are
Oh,
the
maybe.
two that,
Llama spits on you? Isn't the llama the one
That's
that's
right.
keep fucking spitting, or is that emu?
Yeah.
Yep.
They're probably
I thought
both
emu
spit.
was a bird.
Well,
I think the emu pisses on you and the llama spits.
Which one did you eat? Which one?
Emo.
Did you eat the emo dick?
no, I didn't.
Right.
Emo.
I was
Yeah,
in
emo.
Canada. I was in
Taiwan train
Canada,
emo.
and we went to the only emu farm that's in Canada, like a large emu farm. They raise emu, and you can buy emu steak, meat.
Steak.
Oh, this went from a zoo thing to a whole different. Okay.
Yeah,
now we're
no.
eating 'em.
This is-
Steak.
No,
Steak
no.
shaped like a tube.
Yeah.
Tube steak.
So I have
With 2 plums rather than one.
I have to tell you, it tastes like steak. Like you look at the meat, the fibers look like it's steak. It tastes like steak. Must be steak, right? No,
No, definitely not.
it's a bird. So, and I mean, dinosaurs are birds, right?
No.
They're from bird
A
family.
fucking T-Rex flies?
No, well, they had
Those fucking
feathers.
tiny arms?
They had
Pterodactyl.
feathers. They had feathers.
T-Rex? T-Rex had a fucking
Had
feathers?
feathers. Yeah.
Fuck.
So
Velociraptors.
Are you agreeing with him?
It's true.
It's true.
Depends. If the T-Rex wanted to be a flying bird, then it is a flying bird.
I mean,
Just never left the air.
How about a penguin?
so,
Penguin
so
doesn't
did
fucking-
chickens, right? Chickens don't fucking fly. So
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah, what the fuck?
yeah,
10
4
seconds.
feet.
Not in fucking Albania, wherever you fucking.
Just for 4 feet. That doesn't mean I didn't sprint.
Wait a minute. Okay, you just said something that piqued my interest. Albania.
No, not Albania. I don't know where you're from. Uzbekistan?
Armenia.
Armenia, yeah.
Okay. So what
Thank
movie?
you for remembering. He's
Movie
been doing this
Taken.
for 2 years.
Movie Taken. With Liam Neeson.
Yep.
Movie
What?
Taken.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. There was a group. Was it Armenian or Albanian?
Albanians.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, those are the bad guys. The Armenians are fucking innocent.
Okay.
You know what?
Because I was wondering if we were going to leave the
Let
studio
me give you a fact.
when he said he was from Armenia. I was like,
Let
is
me-
that the bad
You'd get out, but you're fucking pinned.
Let me give you.
one? You're stuck. That's why I said on the outside.
Let me give you a fact here. Okay,
yeah.
I'll educate
I
you.
want to educate me.
Armenia is one of the oldest countries in the world. It's
Okay.
over 3,000 years old.
Oh, wow.
How many countries do you know that old?
Aren't all countries the same age?
Yeah, I mean, if you're. Well, the land
Earth
mass.
is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The land mass
That's what I'm
is.
getting at,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
All right, so there you have it.
What does that mean? Like, so your selling point is that you're the oldest fucking country?
No, means my ancestors have been around before yours.
So they make just killers earlier than mine have been.
No.
They didn't kill anything.
Well, they killed to survive.
Yeah,
they were hunters and gatherers,
They're
and
like the T-Rex, and
Right.
then you're the next
Yeah.
generation.
but we didn't fly, and we didn't have feathers.
What the fuck, man? This is good beer here. You got IPA. I don't know what you were drinking now.
Cheers, guys.
Is that IPA?
It's
What's
2
the
times.
word?
Oh yeah. So these are this
Drinking
IPA.
what you drink.
Yeah, these are IPAs. I could taste it. I didn't see it. Can you read that? Because I can't fucking tell. It's got to be an IPA because it tastes like that.
You can't tell. You don't know what I'm from.
I can't fucking read
This
it.
is good.
8%.
This is good.
Yeah, so it's IPA for sure.
I always thought like
Zero
I was gonna
gravity,
come up
40
with a
thieves.
beer.
Oh, there's it there. Look, it says IPA. How fucking cool is that?
What's the brewery name?
40 Thieves. Alibaba and the 40 Thieves.
I'm drinking Equilibrium.
The advertising is crazy.
That's from.
Equilibrium. Oh shit.
Oh, jeez.
There
Yeah.
was a beer
And you got Southern
store
Tier.
that I bought these from today that had them. You know the juice boxes? They're made out of cardboard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Folded down at the. There was a beer there that was like that. It was like, you know what it looked like? It looked like one of those Atkins protein drinks. It was a beer,
Really?
and it was like
In a cardboard box?
7.5% alcohol, which is why I didn't get it because these were 9.
But is it in like a little 6 ounce?
It was bigger. It,
Okay.
it was more like a 16 ounce.
So you squeeze it and
It was cardboard.
You open it
Like
like
I saw these ones with monkeys on them that were purple. I mean, I guess I've never really looked. So closely at
I'm not really
versus
sure what
beer.
store you were at, buddy. But
Yeah.
yeah, was there like vibrating toys and shit on the shelf? And
Yeah. How'd you know? Were you there?
He owns it.
That's how they carbonate the beer. They throw the vibrators in there.
Notice the accent.
Give it just enough shake.
Shake it. It's a beer you pre-carbonate. You buy it and you go like this.
And then there was this one called. Then there was this one called Prison something.
Prison City.
City.
For City. Mass Riot.
Right.
Yeah, right out of Auburn.
Auburn.
Something-
Great brewery.
Mass riot. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Actually,
They're called Mass Riot.
every year they have an event called Ice and Fire and
No,
Ice.
yeah.
Fire and Ice.
Did you ever go to that?
check that
I
out?
have not been to that.
It's coming up in like March.
Very nice.
Fire and Ice.
That's like
It's pretty cool. What they do is they build
what's
this.
the movie?
Journey.
No, HBO movie. Oh, come on, help me here. That's what the book Fire and Ice was. The movie was made after that.
Game of Thrones.
Yes, thank you. Mental blank.
So they
It
built.
wasn't a movie.
No, it wasn't.
It was a series. It was a yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Look,
Series.
Technicalities.
you get one punch like left turn, Clyde.
left turn. That's a
I
classic.
will give you a clue to what I'm trying to figure out the answer.
Sounds
It has
like-
nothing to do with what the answer was.
Sounds like Game of Bones.
That's
but-
what.
Daenerys.
But
Everybody
Fire
knows that one.
and Ice, like Roma was saying, they have like it's a whole bunch of breweries at Prison City, and they have just a shitload of like ice sculptures and shit like this. Like
They have food trucks there, and all
you could do
kinds of
like
food.
shots off like a luge, like
Oh my
a, like
God,
a, like
I've
an
done
ice
that
like an
in college.
ice
Yeah,
luge.
They have that there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the liquor goes.
Yeah.
and it's super cold by the time it gets.
And they
there.
fucking,
that's really cool.
They have like a big tower of ice.
They build a tower of ice planks,
like
right?
a
And inside
40
of
inch
it-
by 40 inch.
Inside of it, they set pallets on fire, and it burns until the tower collapses, melts and collapses.
Now, the fairgrounds in Syracuse used to have this. We went through it. We drove through it. It was an ice thing, and it was like at least a mile worth of turns and everything where there was nothing. I've got video of it. Ice sculptures at night that were lit up.
They still do that. When was
fair?
that? When did you do that?
Oh my God! I think this was before COVID.
Oh, maybe they don't do it anymore because that'd be pretty cool to see.
Oh, it was
like
so-
lights on the lake for fucking.
Well, one of the problems is that the winters haven't been conducive to keeping the ice.
this year has, yeah,
When
for
it
sure.
melts,
Yeah.
but that year, this year would be perfect. Yeah, It was so cool.
Yeah,
But you guys should try to make fire and ice. It's pretty. I mean, Grow is there, right? All these people, and there's probably
at least 50, if not more.
50 or more breweries. They just set up little booths and you fucking try the shit out. It's $50 a ticket, whatever the fuck it is. But it's it was nasty weather last year.
It was a little chilly.
But
windy.
they have these big fucking those big tents, and you can kind of walk in. There's gravel
They have
floor and shit. You
indoor
just go
with-
sample beers.
live music, indoor. And
So
then
I've
they
been
have
up to
outdoor.
Ottawa at one point years ago where they had that on the ice, where they had all these tents.
Oh, you mean the 51st state?
Not yet. Unconfirmed.
Segway.
He always has to mention that.
and
No, because it might be.
No.
Yeah, in Greenland, I don't know what that's going to be. 51st and a half. I mean, it's not really a big enough state, I guess. But
my buddy had pictures the other day on Facebook, and he was in Florida. And I said, "You guys fly over the Gulf of America to get there?" He goes, "We're in it right now."
So
that's pretty fucking cool, by the way.
I thought this was a joke, but you check Google Maps. It says
We don't
Gulf-
joke about anything on this podcast, Roman.
All serious.
I understand.
He just
I didn't-
fucking deals with me.
I didn't think it was gonna change. I thought it was just
Do you know why they changed it?
why.
Because I think they outlawed drilling in the Gulf of Mexico. So Trump's like, I'll just change the name. I swear to God, I think that's what happened. Yeah.
But
So
on
now they're
Google
drilling in the
Maps-
Gulf of Mexico.
Can you spell logic?
Yeah.
You
This
you
is
check
what this comes down to.
you check on Google Maps. It now says Gulf of America.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
I
they're
could go down this road all day long, and I won't.
Yeah.
But just real quickly, it's logic. It's so simple. What you see is like this massive change, and it's like, why was it that way in the beginning? It really begs the question.
There's a lot. Sorry, Rome. There's a lot of relief going on. Like you can feel these things. Like he got rid of fucking cardboard straws over the weekend. You know that?
Oh, I didn't know that.
He got rid of cardboard straws, and he told the Treasury stop minting the penny. It costs 3 cents to make 1 penny.
4, I thought.
2 cents.
And it costs more to make the nickel.
Yeah.
Even more.
So either way, I mean, Democrat, Republican, whatever you want to do, there's just things that make sense.
I never understood the
It's
cardboard
huge.
straw.
Who?
Cardboard straw.
Because they don't want to fucking float in the ocean, killing dolphins and seagulls.
they
and shit.
give
Who's
it
that
to you-
rapper McDonald?
they
with
give
all
it to you in the-
tattoos?
Tom
He's from-
McDonald.
Tom McDonald's from Canada.
Never heard of this guy.
He's
Really?
a TikTok star.
His rapper name? Oh, well, we don't have TikTok.
Oh, he's like Vanilla Ice, but he's like the new guy.
But so we would do TikTok, by the way. Sorry, if it's American owned.
If it, yeah.
We
we're
purposely
not
have
out there.
avoided TikTok because we don't want to deal with it if it's China owned.
That's the hope, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if
God bless
America
you for that.
comes buys it, then we'll do that.
Yeah.
You actually paused at that, even though it could make you. I love you.
Yeah, I mean, well,
we're not
are-
on TikTok
As the
on
show
purpose. Yeah. Till it's not Chinese owned, we're not going to be on
yeah,
there. But
we'll make good shit. It's
I
really
didn't,
funny.
I didn't understand.
50% of this episode.
I didn't understand the cardboard straws because they give it to you in a plastic cup.
Okay, so that's what Tom McDonald rapped was paper straws in plastic versus plastic straws in paper.
That's what would be better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
just,
like a brainwash that you
But
really
I-
you come out of the matrix and you say, "Wow,
I do have to say something.
I haven't been able to
that?
think, and now I can." And look at it.
What
I'm
I
just
think-
more concerned why you guys are listening to white rappers from Canada.
Whoa. What do you mean, you guys?
There's two guys. You said his name. He was trying to figure it out, and you fucking pronounced it.
Just all
Nice
pop
catch,
culture
Frank.
stuff that
Yeah.
goes in there. I'm
I
not,
don't miss shit, man.
Off the hook.
Unless I'm on beer 12, but other than that, I'm good.
James in Solutions
I
Department.
didn't even know the guy's name. I just saw him, and he's like, "That's Tom
Ronald
McDonald."
McDonald? No, Tom McDonald.
I don't think I was throwing up gang signs when that happened.
I don't know. Roll the tape.
I have to say,
Go back.
watching videos of straws being pulled out of turtles' noses. Oh my gosh, that was hard to watch.
It is hard to watch for sure. Yeah.
But I mean, put this.
So how
put
did
the
that video
paper
come up?
I'd
You know,
hate
what did
to see
you
that.
search in YouTube?
He
to
put
come
a
up
straw in a
with-
fucking turtle's mouth and he fucking filmed it.
No, just plastic shit being in the ocean.
Yeah.
Okay.
You familiar with the plastic island floating around?
Yes.
Yeah, I walk across, Lake Ontario. I see tampon wrappers and shit all over the place.
Yeah.
But
Those are
they
the
don't
gu-
end up in my nose.
Or do they?
Or do they? No, I think you make a good point that
Yeah.
if I suppose it can happen. But what's,
I guess what I'm trying to say is like, okay with
I
the
don't see
paper,
that. That's
okay
not
with the
logical.
paper straw, but put it in the paper cup, right?
Yeah.
No, don't do paper.
How about styrofoam? Not styrofoam either.
Wait a minute.
No.
How about we just raise?
This is how
ourselves to the
brainwashed
event
we
and
are.
Not have to have a straw.
Or corn starch plastic, which melts down over like 90 days, I think.
We're so brainwashed that we're literally talking about straws and turtles' noses.
Yeah,
And we're
yeah.
not talking about the important things that are really
Everything we do
basic
affects
every day.
something somewhere. Like even so, if it's paper, it's gonna go to fucking landfill.
In the end,
right?
all of that, in order to be sold, needs to be printed.
That's right.
So we're the problem.
By Kyocera.
no.
Kyocera's doing it.
I'm not saying printed. Problem. I'm saying
It's our paper straws that are in
Right.
turtles' noses.
no.
Shit.
What I'm saying is
That's why we're going to water.
it comes down to shit needs to be printed, which is important, and documents are being printed, ads are being printed,
And shredded.
marketing,
Yeah.
shredded, recycled.
And shredded.
Why can't they just fucking burn it?
Now, there's a lot of shredding going on right now. I
Yeah,
think.
but what are they doing with the shreds? What's it shredded? I mean, I like shredded fucking hash browns, but that's about it. I don't know how I got there.
Hash browns.
I just said that.
There is that incinerator
That
when
is
you go
solid.
by the Carousel Mall that's always got the flame.
Yeah.
It's probably in there.
So they're shredding and burning.
Well, they're burning
Yeah.
something over there.
But why does you got to shred it before it's
Eternal
burned?
flame.
Let's fucking burn it.
Do you guys handle shredding? Do you have a
Yes.
like a department that?
No, we again,
sub it out?
We don't do the service. We sell the equipment.
Oh,
And
to
that's
shred
a
it.
big distinction to make here is that we don't do the process, the service part of it, because we're too small. I mean, if I told you how many employees we had, didn't I say that earlier?
No.
Okay, we've probably got about
20,
30
yeah.
employees, and a lot of people kind of go, because we cover such a wide swath. But we use technology in our business where we don't have to have the human labor. In other words, like the machines, we used to like have technicians go out and look at all the machines at every account we have and say, and we used to pay them $5 to like as a toner bonus to make sure they had extra toner. Because last thing you want is someone saying, "I'm out of toner, the
Yeah.
machine's down."
Right.
I mean, the whole business may be down. This is back in the day, but now we have a system of algorithms that actually order the toner for the customer when the machine reports that I got 10% left.
Right.
So there's no them
interesting.
calling us. And
Yeah.
I mean, today I had 3 customers that said, I love the system
nice.
you have.
That's
You know,
nice.
We used to order, and when we did, we would be a little bit late. And, no one's paying attention to it. It's like we
Yeah.
use the technology offered to us to do this. And those are the little things we have to do in order to thrive and make a profit.
And you can program it to notify or reorder at 10%, 15%, 20%.
Yes. And 50% would be a situation where you got a print shop. Where 50% might actually be
2
maybe
days
2
worth of
days.
shit, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
10%
Based on usage.
should give you.
But
weeks.
an initial install, you would send a toner and an extra.
Yep.
So then now you.
More
yeah.
importantly, our algorithms aren't just 10%. They actually take into account a trend. So what does 10% mean?
It's adjustable each time.
The machine determines that. It's not so much a percentage because
that's perfect.
a percentage could be gone the next day in a print shop, but it's a trend that is combined with a percentage. So it says more like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And
So-
UPS picks them up from us. We don't even. I mean, it's such a nice system.
What do you have a busy month? Now it's like fuck. Now we need 2 weeks. It'll self adjust.
It
Over
again,
time.
it comes to the data in
Right.
there.
Yeah.
So we always tell our customers, if you know you have a larger than normal print job coming up and you are relatively low, let
Yeah,
us know
yeah,
and we'll
yeah.
get one out to you.
And that's where it
But
happens.
most of the time, it's calculating based on your usage how much toner
Yeah.
is going to be used in the next 3 weeks. Once you get down to 3 weeks left, it will ship that out.
So that would be machine learning.
Yep.
Is that what it's called? Machine learning. So based on your usage, it collects data, analyzes it. Okay.
As much as I kind of poo-poo AI in some regards,
Yeah.
it's used in our technology.
Yeah.
And it's used a lot.
You kinda
what
have
he
to.
Does,
Yeah.
in the scanning. You know, it's phenomenal.
We
the stuff
talked
that he does.
We talked earlier in our episodes when AI became public use. I guess not from commercial, but like the ChatGPT.
We like AI. It's just
So
correctly.
we started talking about AI, our concerns about AI. There's no escaping AI. It's going to happen. It's going to advance. There's a race between countries, and I think that now AI, no escaping it, but it's utilizing it as a tool.
Yep.
You know, how to be more productive. I don't think it's at the level of like replacing people or jobs, but it is at the level where it makes jobs more productive, better. Like in your situation,
Yep.
with the whole ordering cartridges or toners,
Yep.
right? Like it's a great integration. We are eliminating wasted time,
Yep.
right? Calling, ordering, all the bullshit. Let it be autonomous. Let it order itself. You don't need humans for that. Let humans be more productive in their other tasks.
Yep. And that's where we're going with document management.
Yeah.
You know, some of the software companies that we partner with, they have obviously sister companies that are dabbling into the AI, but what you're going to see is, you know, invoices. You know, every company that sends out an invoice out there, everything's a little bit different, and they're already starting to compile all them. So you're going to get to a point where it doesn't matter what invoice you get, you can drop it into your software, and it's going to automatically say this is an invoice. And it doesn't matter how they change it; it's going to know where to look, and it's going to, you know, in coding term, regular expressions, it's going to already know where to look for that information. You know, I want the invoice amount. It may shift from up to the top left down to the bottom right. It's learning all that, and they're already doing that, so people don't have to worry about. Let's double check what Chris typed into the system. It's going to automatically pull that
because he fucked it up, right?
He fat fingers some
Fucks
stuff
it up
out there on his iPhone.
But there should never be paper invoices. There should never be any mailing. The post office is a mess, right?
Whoa!
The post office. What?
Paper is what makes the world
No.
go around here for us. We want dots on paper.
Yeah, I
Roll it back.
meant paper's great. We should all use paper.
That's something
But
we didn't even discuss through this whole conversation is that paper's
Yeah.
going away.
Yeah.
And with papers going away, so are copiers, so are printers.
Yeah, but
And that's a part of it.
digitally, you can still use this. So you may not be making paper copies. You're making digital copies.
Yep. Oh, well,
Yeah.
you know, he mentioned one of our customers earlier, Fulton Thermal. They don't even, a lot of their invoices come in through email in our software. We have it set up so it checks their inbox. And
Yeah.
as soon as an invoice comes in, it pulls that invoice off it and automatically files it and gives it to the right, you know, accounts payable department in there. So they went from a process of where they were literally have a script to print every one of those emails to turn around, enter the information, and then scan it back in. Now it just grabs this and says, hey, this is the invoice from ABS.
But the post office is such a mess. They're perennially fucked up. Hundreds of millions of dollars lost. Like, I don't understand why we have it.
Still got to get mail.
Well, yeah, but you could get all
The answer for
everything.
that on another
Everything.
show.
Everything could be email. Like, I mean, I'm not saying like
Government.
I'm not saying get rid of a wholly, but like, there's probably you could reduce it by like 50%, and maybe Doge will do that. I just don't know. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on. That, like,
I just would like to get less junk.
right. So, but if you get, you know, we get junk mail.
Yeah.
If you get junk email, it's like a blip, delete. Fuck it. You know.
Make no mistake.
You're a generation and a half away from that being the case.
But this is you guys don't know. This is the universal signal for fuck it. This is fuck it.
You know, the one thing
Next
that
sales meeting.
Yeah, fuck it.
with what James just said, you know, I can't help but feel like, you know, anyone listening to this that's kind of a layman sees what he said and sees where the technology's going and what they reflect on is Walmart with 6 people checking you out down to 2 and then a kiosk.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a problem.
Yeah.
And we are not advocating in our business to replace humans. What we are doing, more importantly, is what's the most expensive thing in a business? And I say this to so many businesses, and I don't think I'm good at communicating this, but if I was, it would be such an easier job. But with the biggest expense in any business is what?
Overhead.
Equipment.
such as
Right. Yeah.
Employee.
lights.
What we're talking about. Right. Yeah.
Technology.
Utilities and shit.
Operational
Human beings.
Yeah.
It is, because they come along with a salary or an hourly, disability, Social Security, a lot of
Yeah.
things. So our job is really, and this is cuts right down to it for our business. Our job is to look at what everybody does and make them more efficient at the job they're
Right.
hired for.
Right. Well, efficiency
Everybody
is
has to
everywhere.
print.
It should be
Everybody
everywhere.
has to get up and walk over there and get the print. But that sometimes is a 10-minute job
Yeah.
because they go to the water cooler and the conversation happens. And we don't want to keep people chained to their seats either. We just want to make them more efficient at what their job is entitled to, is paid for, so that they can continue to do those and make the money and make the profit for the company and let the technology do the stuff that is otherwise time spent by them that doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
We certainly do not advocate for replacing people with technology.
Yeah.
The day that we all do that, we'll have robots.
Well,
running
we're
the
all,
country.
we've talked, we've had people approach us about our podcast, and they can replicate our podcast without me and Roman being here. They could just use our voice and they can have fucking podcasts.
Yeah, they were saying about,
all day long.
but
And I'm not, yeah, I'm
they
sorry.
cannot replicate our sense of humor. They cannot replicate what we're gonna say or when and how fucked up it's gonna be.
But I don't want to get rid of U.S. jobs like you're talking about. Like, but the post office has got a fucking problem. They're in the red every year. You've got to adjust that somehow. I mean, how are you ever going to get in the black?
I worked for the federal government for many years, and the answer to that is being more effective at what. I spent more time worrying about regulation and BS than I did about taking care of patients when I was a nurse. If my job was, a lot of things were eliminated, all the crap, all the fluff, and I could do what my job was designed to do, that would be a whole different world.
Yeah.
And I think that's what this administration may be trying to do. I don't know if they're going to be effective at it, but I like that someone is thinking outside the box.
Yeah, yeah.
And regardless of who you lean towards or whatever, there's logic, and then there's the opposite.
Yeah.
And I don't care who you are, what color you vote for. If you're a logical person, I'm down with it.
Right. Yep.
And it just makes sense.
Same. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat. I don't care if you're gay or I don't. None of that bothers me.
Yeah.
Just be a decent person.
When 2 + 2 = 5, I got a problem with that.
Right.
I can't work with you. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
Again, systems evolve, and I said it earlier.
you start,
We're about a
James.
generation and a half away from the post office now no longer being a viable thing.
And-
So it's one of those things that 50 years ago, no one would ever thought the post office would ever go away. We also didn't think we'd be carrying computers in there. You talk about the Garmin GPS when you're camping. Well, who uses Garmin anymore? You don't need to, because everything's on your phone. You can download so many apps.
hey, I still have Garmin in my car.
I get it. I get it. But
and I've got
it
two
all
of them
comes in.
because satellite.
I like to separate it sometimes. Yeah,
Satellite is different.
yeah.
So all that technology is now everything's shifting. We're moving ahead,
But we're
post office is
behind.
not gonna keep-
We're behind. Our country does not have a high-speed rail. It's a fucking problem. Like, first of all, you got all these airplanes. You got all these airplanes
They
crashing.
lost me at high speed rail.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you have all these
Big
airplanes
Oil
crashing.
isn't going to allow high speed.
Who?
Rail. Big Oil.
Well, and that's the problem. I mean, but like, if you could just send it east to west and then just have little fucking hubs off it, it would solve a lot of the issues people are paying for airfare, and I don't know what's going on with these crashes lately. That's not.
Productivity in development in our country is delayed due to
Bureaucracy.
too much government
Thank
and
you.
bureaucracy control, who gets paid, much money gets in someone's pocket. That puts brakes. We have so much potential to grow and be ahead of other countries, but because everybody needs
Wait a minute. Be ahead of other countries.
be ahead of
We are way ahead of other
Not for high-speed rail.
well, for example, high-speed rail.
high speed rail.
Take the fucking post office workers and put them in high-speed rail fucking workers.
Or
we didn't give
or
them any
look
jobs.
at, EV cars. China has better EV cars than we do. Why is that? Why? What?
So who measures that they're better?
Well,
Or what is the measurement?
Yeah.
well, okay. So what's the best EV car we have? Tesla
Yeah.
In the U.S. you're talking about.
in the U.S. Yeah. So look at Chinese EV cars, what they're capable of, and what their advancement is in their EV vehicles versus Tesla.
But
So
they're
ask the
they're one
average
step
Chinese
away
person,
from
would
not
they rather
working.
live in China today
No.
or live in the United States?
Yeah, you want to sleep in your own shit, or do you want to have a battery that can go longer? Yeah.
I'm talking about technological development, not quality of life, or
I
where
don't
it's
see
better.
EV as technologically advanced because they're one step away from
Well,
not being able to operate. I
No.
mean,
What I'm saying is we could be better or ahead of China or Europe in high-speed rails. Like, why are we not? Is what I'm saying is the bureaucracy in our local government prevents us to develop and be further. Why can't we send more stuff into space? Like every time Musk wants to send more rockets or whatever, there's all these delays, there's inspections, there's all this shit that keeps us from being more advanced.
So what Roman's saying is we could be more advanced than China. Our government is preventing us from being so.
Yeah. It puts
Nobody
brakes.
likes
it
the guy on the top of the
delays.
Well,
and-
But who's at the top of the hill? That always
I
changes.
don't.
well, that's just
I
it.
get-
It's global.
Yeah.
I think that take a neighborhood. Take
I
the
just
biggest
burped, sorry,
guy
man.
in the neighborhood who's always on the top of the hill, and no one wants to see him stay on the top of the hill because,
Well, everybody's always gunning for the top, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The
everybody
hardest
wants-
spot to ever
Everybody's
be in,
gunning for
the
US.
hardest spot to ever be in anywhere you go is first place.
Or wait a minute, are they gunning for the top spot? Or are they gunning for the guy that decides who is the top spot?
What's the difference?
There's a big difference.
Well,
But it's only perception.
Decides who's the top spot.
It's perception.
everyone is hungry for power. So it doesn't matter what side, who, where, when. Everyone wants power control and be able to manipulate things in their favor. So it doesn't matter.
Is power the guy on the top of the hill or the one that points at the one that gets the guy at the top of the hill and keeps changing it? See what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
To me, power is the guy that points at the guy who says, you get the top of the
That's
hill.
true. But
They're
what
the ones
stops
with power?
But if the
But
guy is
somebody
if the
else
guy
wants
is
that
pointing
spot.
to that, if the guy is pointing to that, then he's the top of the hill. If I'm pointing at Roman saying you're top of the hill, that really makes me top of the hill because I made you top of the hill.
I see what you're saying, Chris. I see what you're saying, Chris, is you're putting a face to the power or who gets to control.
Right.
Right. I get it. But then somebody else wants that.
Gotcha.
So they will,
I don't want that.
as humans,
I'm good
there's
with this.
always
Yes.
there's always one
It's like
for
4.
green. But well, we can wrap it up. But before we wrap it up, I wanted to highlight more about your business, where people can contact, the services they can reach out for. I know we talked about during the show, website, social media.
Yes, definitely. abstech.com. You can go there. You can put any request in, from toner prices to get quotes on copiers, M&S services, and anything like that.
Water.
And water. Yes, water.
That's right.
Well, you guys are offering water. Oh, RO. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like water cooler services. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a water filtration system. It's cooler. It plugs right into your line at your business. So you can follow us on Facebook. We do a lot of drawings where we will buy items from our customers and then raffle them off to people.
Gosh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So definitely something
That's fun.
we try to give back to the community. Ned and Ryan have always made it a point to, like, 1% to 2% of our revenue every year we want to give back in donations and prizes and stuff like that. Just give back to the community that's given to us. So
I love that you guys do that. That's really
Can
really
I expound
important.
a little bit on that raffle
Sure,
stuff?
yeah.
'Cause I think no one does this. No one does this. And the great thing about our company is if James came up with some crazy idea, Ryan's like, let's do it. I came up with an idea. Ryan's like, let's just do it. Let's throw money.
That's a young idea. Yeah. Yeah.
We don't have a lot of money to throw at. We've got to be fiscally responsible. But the idea approached me once where it was like, we have customers that have a product and we want to expose that to other people. Why not advertise for them? So we go to an Ace Hardware store. Everybody can identify with that. What do they have that everybody, men and women, both like? Grills, Blackstone griddles,
Yeah.
the green egg.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't ask them to donate it. We bought it from them. So we go to a customer and we buy a product. In the case of a green egg, it was like, I think that was like a $1,400 item. Anyways, and then our marketing girl puts it out there only for first responders in this case. because we wanted to honor during that month first responder. We did this for every other month. I mean, we don't do it in the winter, but we do it in spring and summer. So we have a lot of these. So we honored first responders, and only first responders can apply for the raffle. And anybody can, like, if you have a family member that is a first responder, you can sign them up for it. So in this case, it was a great egg grill, and it was for the first responders. And the guy that won it never even put in an application for it because he didn't know about it, but someone did. So when we called him and identified that he was the winner, he was like, okay, this is a scam. I'm a sheriff's department.
Yeah.
I'm a sheriff, a deputy sheriff. And it was like, all right, Chris called this guy back because he doesn't think that it's legitimate. I'm like, dude, you won,
Yeah.
So we brought him into the multi-chamber event so that we could really expose this. So the next chamber event, we awarded him this thing. We got lots of pictures and stuff, and it was awesome. I mean, he spoke about it, and the day that he was having, the day that we gave him the grill was I won't get into it because it's awful to think that the guys like this get the kind of bullshit that someone gave him, but he was really having a hard time believing that he won it because of the day he was having. And long story short, I've been in contact with this guy ever since. But we do those raffles, and we do them with our customers where we buy the item and then we promote it for everybody. Whether you're a customer or not, you can fill it out and win the raffle. So, but the other thing that we do when we're doing the raffle is we're advertising for that person. So sales guys are handing out these paper things, which is unheard of anymore because everything's digital, right? But we're handing them out saying, fill this out, And on there is Deaton's Hardware, and on there is Odie Green, Ace Hardware. And it's been really tough to find an item that someone else offers that everybody wants, because it's like we have attorneys and what do they have that we want to buy from them?
Yeah.
And the only one I can think of is that if anyone can help me with this, I'd appreciate it. Is there is a skydiving thing in Weedsport, and I've called them numerous times, and I've said, and the answering machine says, if you can't get us, we're probably out in the air or something like that. And I've left messages, but I've got an attorney that does a will, that wants to donate a will. And that's one side of the offer. The other side, if you win, is the skydiving.
So
which is kind of a tongue.
He will do a will if you do the skydiving piece.
You got it. It's just funny,
Yeah.
And we're in a company that can do that funny shit.
This is James shit right here. Like I could tell. He
came up with it, and I just was like, hey, take it and run with it,
Yeah.
I can't get a hold of anybody.
So you got the one half done with the will. You just don't have the skydiving piece.
Our attorney with the will is all day long.
I can get you the contact for the skydiving.
You know what I'm
for
talking
the place.
about? Somewhere near Weedsport.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know someone who is licensed to do solo jumps. He takes a plane right out of there. I have another friend who's actually a pilot that flies out of there.
Now, the only caveat to this is we want them to be our customer for buying the product, but in this case, it's just too funny not to do it that way. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're running out of ideas, and if anyone could, we have customers that we want to buy the product so that we can advertise for them. We're just kind of running out of.
You should raffle off a guest appearance on this podcast. I mean, it might be a loss for who's ever going to do it.
And done.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a raffle of podcasts and then a psychiatry session.
We got a whole lineup of those too. Oh yeah.
You raffle it off, we'll do it. I mean, or in 100% serious, whatever we can do to help you guys
think
moving forward.
The box today. When you're a small business and you just don't count on quantity, you got to count on quality. That's what we're into. When I saw you guys, I was like, "Oh, we are so down."
I remember the email title is "We Want In."
Oh yeah,
exclamation mark!
In.
And I'm talking to Rome. I'm like, this is fucking perfect.
Yeah.
This is just what we want to do.
These guys mean it.
Yeah. But we're just good people. We're all good people, And if you want to raffle something off like that, you could be on here. You get free beer. I don't fucking know, and you'll laugh a lot. I don't know.
Imagine that.
Your liver will be damaged, but whatever.
Who needs that?
No, it regenerates. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You gotta have a stiff upper lip,
Well, another option is a podcast here and then raffle off a Uber ride back home after you get intoxicated.
We are open. We are open to anything, and that is. I said this earlier, and he can take it and run with it or not. But when you have a CEO at the back, at the helm of it, that's 40 years old.
Yeah.
Any new
Yep.
idea is
Yep.
open.
Well, he understands that it's a different sort of marketing industry than years past.
There's
You got fresh ideas, and I mean you see it during the election. You get all these candidates going on podcasts.
Yep.
I mean, I know that's not what we're doing, but this is authentic. This is genuine. This is what we do, and we talk about these independent medias and trying to research and sort of vet what you're reading.
Yep.
So that but aside from any political aspect of it, what we've just done today is all 100% genuine. We just met. We just fucking saw you guys, right?
Yeah.
And here we are 2 hours just fucking.
first time.
I'll go another fucking 2 hours. I don't give a shit. Right.
I looked at it. The wife was already texting, "Hey, are you on your way home yet?" I'm like, yeah, no, we're wrapping it up.
Well, good people meet good people.
Well,
right?
guys, let's wrap it up at that. And like Frank said, if anything we can be part of or contribute or help, we're down for it.
I'm just thrilled to have the opportunity that you guys exist. I mean, really.
And we appreciate
I
it.
can't say that enough, that this is something that if it existed somewhere in another county, we'd be all over it.
Yeah.
You guys are it's genuine.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Said.
And we welcome you guys back whenever you want. Certainly, if you're going to be back around April time,
See you next
we'll
week.
do this. Yeah, well, good enough for us. We'll be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
This is great.
Absolutely.
We
Thank you
appreciate
for
the
the swag. Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.